Hi, let us do this word problem that involves maxima and minima, and we'll use differentiation in order to do this. I'll go ahead and read this once. A manufacturer can sell Q items at a price P, which is given by the rule 210 minus Q. The total cost of producing Q items is given by the rule Q square plus 10Q plus 15. Now find Q, that is the number of items sold, which will give maximum profit. Okay. The price now is given to us, price of each individual item when Q items are sold is given by this rule 210 minus Q. We want to find the total revenue that this manufacturer makes by selling these Q items. So if the price of each individual item is P and Q items are sold, the total money inflow, which is the revenue, is given by multiplying the price and the number of items sold. And that would be, price is given by the rule 210 minus Q, and we multiply that by the number of items sold. So that is the total revenue made by this manufacturer. And that can be distributed, and we get 210Q minus Q squared. Let me move this a little bit. Okay. If this is the total revenue, and the cost of producing these Q items is given by Q squared plus 10Q plus 15, then the profit made by this manufacturer will be the total revenue that he gets and take away the cost he expended in manufacturing these items. That remainder will be the profit. So profit will be revenue minus the cost Let's go ahead and plug them. So the profit would be revenue, which is 210Q minus Q square, and subtract the cost. Let me bring this back a little bit so we can see and write. So the cost is Q square plus 10Q plus 15. And we'll go ahead and simplify this. We have 210Q minus Q square. We'll distribute this negative sign into every term inside the parentheses, and that would give us minus Q square minus 10Q minus 15. If we try to simplify that a little more, we will have 210Q, let's see, 210Q, and there's another minus 10Q. So together we will have 200Q, and then we have negative Q square, negative Q square. Put together it will be negative 2Q square minus 15. If we try to write it in the proper order, we will have profit, which we represented as PR, will be negative 2Q square plus 200Q minus 15. Okay, now that is the profit, and we want to find Q that would give us the maximum profit. Let us understand this profit curve, how it will look. Let's explore that a little bit. Now looking at the expression we have here for profit, we see that it's a quadratic expression because the highest power is 2. And so we know the quadratic function will look like either an inverted parabola or a parabola of this nature. Now, when do we know? How do we know which one belongs to the given the expression, the quadratic expression? For that, we try to look at the lead coefficient, which is the coefficient of the highest power term. Q square is the lead term, and the coefficient of Q square is -2. So if the coefficient of the lead term or lead coefficient, if it is negative, the parabola is going to be inverted. If this was positive, parabola would be of this nature. So we know that the parabola for this expression would be the inverted parabola. What that means is let's take that parabola and try to study that a little more. So this is the profit function. The profit keeps on increasing, reaches a maximum, and then decreases. So at this highest point, the profit is maximum. And when the profit is maximum, you see that the tangent is horizontal. The slope is 0. How do I get the slope of this function? Now that we know differentiation, the slope of this profit function is nothing but the differentiation of PR with respect to Q. So let us go ahead and try to do that. Get the slope of the profit function. Slope of the profit function is dPR over dQ. Okay, how do we go about doing this now? Let us recall that rule which says d by dx of x to the power n is n x to the power n minus 1. Let me try to use that rule and find the differentiation. So dPR over dQ would be, applying that rule, we will have -4Q plus 200. Now we saw that the tangent is flat, its slope is 0, therefore for PR to be maximum the slope should be 0. So we set this to 0 and solve for Q, which will be 50. So that tells us that when 50 items are sold, then the profit is maximum. I hope this helps. Thank you.